This is the Camper and Caravan Show 2017 at Nadarzyn near Warsaw. This is quite a small event comparatively, although I've been to even smaller ones. For example, last year I went to Padova, and so it's held here at this place here, the TAC Warsaw Expo. It's about 45 kilometers more or less from Warsaw, and they do offer a free bus. So should anybody come here and want to go to Warsaw, in fact there was even an excursion there last night which was organised, and as you can see there's lots of vans have turned up here. To my eye I would say there's probably about 250 who came here, which I mean, I know it's nothing compared to how many go to Dusseldorf, but for a country like Poland, which has no tradition of motorhoming as such, it really is quite a lot. In fact, I wasn't expecting this many vans to be here, and got a number of companies which are here, so let's now go in and have a look. This is around 75 minutes before opening time, so people are getting things ready. So it's the same problem as I had in Stuttgart and Dusseldorf and Birmingham and other places, where there's the noise of the vacuum cleaners, but an additional problem here is created by the loud music. Today, fortunately, it's considerably quieter than it has been in previous days. In fact, on day one it was so loud, I don't think you'd even have heard me. Which I can't really understand. I can understand why they do it in discotheques. I can't really understand why people even do it in bars and things. Anyway, so let's start off with here. So we've got the Mercedes with these offerings. There you have the Marco Polo Horizon and a Vito, which has been converted into a camper van. And to have a quick look at this Marco Polo Horizon, because I personally think the Marco Polo is a major misunderstanding. And then we'll start off with the price, which is 285,000 zloty, which is approximately 70,000 euros, slightly less, about 65,000 in fact. Now, as we come in this, what I'm going to do is have a quick look at it. In fact, you know, as you can see, it's a car. It's not a camper van at all. The only thing it's got is the seats which come down like that to make an uncomfortable bed with the seat belts getting in your way. Here we have the Vito version, which is, as I recall, not only a fair bit cheaper, it's also got something which could be used as a van. It's 195,000 zloty, which is approximately 45,000 euros. So it's more than 20,000 euros cheaper. And what it's got here is, as you can see, 2 burners, Waco fridge, a sink, and the bed which comes down from the chairs. We'll have a quick walk around, but you see here, for example, we've got some off-road vehicles which are built in Poland, such as these Camper 4x4 PL, and these are quite curious and relatively standard sort of things you can see in other countries. You can see it's very high roof. Unfortunately, this one here, it's got no connection between the cab and the habitation area. Okay, here we've got roller team. So you can see them in other countries all over the place as well. Now, Automobile, filmed quite a lot of them. Cartago, I think I filmed all the 2017 season Cartagos. I might even have a couple of 2018 ones done as well. So you can see that in other films. There we have Rapido. So we have here the sort of more traditional, shall we say, where the better known brands, international brands. There's a Chausson. Incidentally, nearly all of the vans you can see in other films I've done, which I did, films at Stuttgart, Düsseldorf, and the like. Company there, Arius. Now, caravans do play an important part, but there are lots of campers here, as you can see. Okay, Chausson, Adria. Now, what you've got here, it's a bit mixed up, because what you've got here are dealers who may represent various companies. For example, here Weinsberg, which is Knaus, and Detlefs, and you see other people with the same vehicles. In UK, I noticed that as well. Unlike, for example, in Germany, where you've got a Detlef stand, for example, and you've got their dealers, which are on hand to talk about the vehicles. Here we have a Polish company, Balkamp, which I filmed some of their vehicles in Stuttgart and in Düsseldorf. So conversions on VW and Mercedes. Now, Benimar from Spain, who are trying to make a splash in the British market as well, but you don't see many of them on the road outside of Spain, the UK, and clearly they're trying to here to make a mark. An Automobile Integra line, which I filmed quite extensively in Germany. So didn't plan that route very well. I could have walked around a little bit better than what I did, maybe because I wanted to show the Mercedes. Now, I think Mercedes as vehicles, as cars, as base vehicles are great, but as for their ideas in trying to copy Volkswagen, I don't think they work particularly well. Now, here we have a lot of caravans. I also would like to point out, as far as the music's concerned, is the following, is that I accept no responsibility for the music as such. So if anybody makes any claims, I will refute them. Happened to me in Düsseldorf, background music and in a vehicle, and then I get a claim against me for it. Right, Adria. Actually, I managed even to film one of these yesterday. So there, and here we have a Globe Traveller. Now, we've filmed all of these. It's from near Warsaw. So you can see all them in other films. And I do want to point out this one here, this Talento, which is, 5 meters long. It's got 3 beds inside, and it's got a full-sized washroom. It's very innovative. You can see that, as with everything else in another film. But look how small the footprint of it is. It's really, I mean, what's the point in getting a car if you also want to get a motorhome or a camper? That one there, I think, okay, the storage obviously is not a great deal to store things, but it is really very, very well thought out. At a push, I must say, 3 beds, although they are single beds. Anyway, see that in another film. That was one of my highlights from Düsseldorf 2017. So that's there's only 2 halls here with motorhomes in. Obviously, this Adria with this slide-out thing. It's one of my most viewed films, in fact. I don't think I did a particularly good view of the film. Now, the slide-out is quite curious. It's for the bed. And in the 6-meter-long van, it does give a huge amount of extra space. Of course, slide-outs do have their price. For those who are wondering what you do if there's an electrical failure, well, for slide-out there is a manual override, so that can make up if there's a problem inside. You can actually get the thing, you can push it in, You have to unscrew a couple of things, I think, and then push it in. I've never actually done it myself, but that's what I'm told. So let's now go and have a look at the next hole through here. So these are the food tents. So this event started on Friday, goes over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I mean, you don't get as many people, it's not as you do in, for example, Dusseldorf, it isn't that crowded, or even Stuttgart for that matter. But it is a new event, and as I said at the beginning, this type of travel, of lifestyle, is new in this country. There we have, hobby, both caravans and campers. Again, I have filmed nearly all the campers from hobby at other events. There we see some Börsner vehicles, and the 30th edition, which was done for last year, 2016 or 2017 season, I should say. Now here's a curious thing, off-roading, and with this vehicle, the top bit moves up to give more space inside. But you see, it's Iceland. I certainly want to be in Iceland in the winter because the top bit is effectively, it's a tent. It's no isolation at all. Somebody told me that the toilet in there is bulletproof. And certainly when you go into the toilet, the last thing you want to do is get shot. So that could be quite handy. Here we have some Canadian models, which I have not seen before. And as in many other places, such as Birmingham, Stuttgart, Dusseldorf, they're having here some entertainment, some go-karting or something like that. And then you can see some of the vehicles as well put in here, including an old Polish one now converted into a camper. There's a number of teardrop vans here, and so I will mention actually this one here, which I saw last year at Carbon Tier, which I saw it in Birmingham, which is manufactured in Lublin. Now the Birmingham Fair is actually going on at the same time as this one. Polish camper. Hadn't heard of that company before I came here. Now here we have the world's first cabriolet camper van, which I filmed at Dusseldorf in 2016, which was built by my friend Piotr. There's his picture. He lives in Cologne, and he brought the vehicle all the way from Cologne, especially for this event. And down there we can see a dealer from Kutno in central Poland. Hobby caravans now. Morello, which have sold one vehicle in Poland, as far as I'm aware, and here we've got two. That's the Palace, and that one there's a Palace liner. Once more, you can see them in other films I've done. and we've got a little bit of equipment here. Now, that's the entire event. You've now seen just about everything related to motorhomes. There's a little bit of equipment in one of the other halls, which is, but not a lot. And that other hall's mainly it's destination tourism. So it's a tourist fair in general. We've even got places such as Mexico. I think Mexico is the sponsor, in fact. And lots of places in Poland as well. There we have a racing team from this Orlen, which is a largely nationalised company which sells fuel. There we go. Point of beer help. Punkt piwny pomocy. And rental is obviously something which is a growing business. So we've got this company here which deals in rentals, and it's got those vehicles. Now in the summer there's a lot of demand, but in the winter there isn't so much of a demand. And one of the big problems that the rental companies face here in Poland is the insurance, because there aren't specialised insurers. Which means if you've got a camper van or a motorhome and you want to rent it out through many of the companies which deal with this type of thing, it's more or less impossible because of the lack of insurance. There's only 2 potential insurers, and they're not too interested in competing with each other. Is it cheaper to buy a van in Poland? Well, we've got a price here. It says 297,000, which is what, 70,000 euros approximately. I don't know. Is that cheaper? I can't remember what it costs in Germany. Oh, here we've got used vehicles. Oh, one of them's a Foster, so it can't be particularly old. They've only been on the market since 2013, I think. There you have it. Camper Caravan Show 2017 in Warsaw. The 3rd time this event has been held. And what's also interesting for camper people, motorhomers, is they have a social program. I mentioned the excursion to Warsaw, which was yesterday. And on Friday I had there was a meal and a bit of a booze up. And unfortunately I didn't go because I was ill, which unfortunate really. It's a chance to meet people. Anyway, so if that's interesting, I hope it was, please subscribe and see other films I've done on this subject.